ground when you're coming into land. All right, so here I'll draw here another example here. So this is the takeoff, and this is landing. All right, so if you have a 747 coming into land, it touched down over here. Over here, the minute the wheels touch the ground, all right, is where the the wake turbulence is going to stop, right? So what you want to do is you want to land somewhere here, all right? So this way there will be no wake turbulence for you to encounter as you are landing.
Just take off beyond here.
Yeah. So take off prior.
Yeah.
Land beyond.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Aziz had a question here, but how will you know where they landed? That is an extremely good question. All right. Most likely when you're coming into land, all right, you will be able to see the other aircraft in front of you. All right, especially at the big airport. All right, they're just landing airplane like they're shooting guns, kind of thing, right? Very, very quick, and you will be able to sort of see now. Couple of things go into that if you can't see, all right? The tower himself will separate you because the tower has some regulation when it comes to wake turbulence, right? So if, for example, a heavy behind a medium weight aircraft, all right, then you need to be separated by a few nautical miles, right? And the tower may just separate you guys enough where that wouldn't be a problem. And by that point, by the time you get there, all right, anything will be already dissipated, okay? So sometimes you can see, sometimes the tower will just make that separation.
Do you need separation on Q400s like jets, or is it usually fine? Like a more than normal separation?
So if you're flying, I'll start off with a Cessna behind a 747. Okay, you will need a lot of room for spacing. But a Q400 is a bit of a bigger aircraft, it can handle more.
Yeah.
So the separation will be a little less. Right? During landing, when another aircraft have taken off, plan to touch down before their point. So that's already what I talked about.
Yeah.
Right? Good.
Very good.
Yeah. Aircraft doing missed approach will have to take the wake turbulence may persist over the entire runway. All right. So missed approach is the same as a go around or as an overshoot, like we talked about yesterday. Wait 2 minutes before making your takeoff or landing. And again, the tower will most likely know that and give you that separate, will space you far enough in behind.
So if someone was on the runway like this, and then they did this approach here, and you just flew over, could your 2 minutes be from your point to the runway, or do you need to, or would it be 4 minutes now? So you have like a minute left and 2 minutes on your approach. Would you have to add another 2 minutes, or would you just keep going?
Okay. Now, talking about an intersecting runways, all right, in big airports, if you have wake turbulence here, all right, and you have a little bit of crosswind going like this, all right, so pushing the air this way, so your wake turbulence can be pushed onto a parallel runway, all right? The tower knows that, and then the tower will accordingly plan for it, right? Like it says over here, ATC has rules to follow regarding that, right? If they are suspecting wake turbulence, they will caution the pilots about it. Okay.
Even if they say caution wake turbulence, obviously they're not gonna direct you into something that's gonna bring your plane down, right? So it's just like it may be a little bit light stuff.
Okay. Now for this next slide, guys, just take a picture of it. All right, straight up. I'm not gonna ask you to copy the charts. Don't worry about copying it. All right, I'll just explain it over here. So just take a picture of this. All right, when you have a light aircraft, all right, a light aircraft, based on Transport Canada, it weighs about 7,000 kilograms or less. All right, and these include these types of airplanes over here. Okay, and and then you'll have, if you're a light aircraft behind the super, you'll be 8 miles separated. If you're behind the heavy, then 6, behind the medium, then 4. All right. The Q400 was a medium-sized aircraft. All right. It was a 62,000 maximum for landing. 62,500, I think. Yes. 62,500 is either the takeoff or landing. I think it's landing. Yes, it's landing. It's 100% landing.
Difference.
It's landing. If you remember, it's been a year. All right. But yeah, so you don't need to know this for real life scenarios. All right. The tower should be in charge of it. Okay. But this is what the tower used for a written exam. You should memorize it.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Talking about search and rescue. All right. I always like to say search and air rescue. Why do I say that? Because then the acronym will be SAR. Bad joke here. All right. But whenever you see the acronym SAR, SAR, which is technically still my name, all right, but it's 2 ways. That means search and rescue. Search and rescue is basically for if you're lost, if you didn't come back on time, all right, then somebody will go and try to find you, all right? In the event of an overdue aircraft, available services will be able to locate them and those involved in the accident or crash. An accident involved death or an injury of people on board, of an aircraft loss are unrecoverable, right? So if it went into the water or something, that's unrecoverable for the most part. Incident involving number of things such as run over the runway, landing badly, anything basically. SAR services, all right? So I provide lots of services to you guys, but I'm nice. All right, many organizations are involved in it. Search and rescue. You have the Canadian Armed Forces. You have the Civil Air Search and Rescue Association, Canadian Coast Guard, patrol the oceans, right? You have the police services. You have Parks Canada, right? So all of these things will go into effect. Now, there is 2 years ago, I was introduced to a system, which is a brand new system they're trying to do. I'm not sure if it's been legalized or not yet, but for search and rescue, in most cases, when an airplane crashes, you're crashed at a place where there's no signal, right? If you're flying into mountains or anything like that, away from civilization. So if you miraculously survived and your phone is still alive, right? You don't have a signal, then you couldn't call anyone. But what they're trying, there is a device right now, right? They didn't use it yet because it's not technically legal, right? But there is a device that search and rescue can have on board their own cellular network. Okay? So they can basically beam down your cellular stuff